I didn't bring an artifact. I always take my mom and dad with me wherever I go. When I was a little kid, we would sit in Civic Stadium watching football games. And my father would look up at Multnomah Athletic Club. He would say, you know, they don't even allow black people in the front door. They won't even allow us to work there. And he goes, that's why you need to be somebody someday. So when I became an adult and I got to speak for the Volunteers of America at the Multnomah Athletic Club, I told them that I'd promised my folks that if I ever made it in some place like Multnomah Athletic Club, which has real special membership, you got to pay a lot of money. And I told them I will bring you with me to breakfast. So that morning, when I got ready to speak, I stuck my mom and dad's wedding picture in front of me. And I said, so I brought mom and dad today. So that tells you how important this is to me, that I'm doing this with you guys. This isn't something that I take lightly at all. I wish I could have sent you more information, but most of my family's information is with the Oregon State Multicultural Library. So, as you can tell, my father's in an Army uniform. He was one of the first black men to be an Army officer when the Army was segregated.
Wait, first black man to do what?
He's one of the first 500 black Army officers during World War II.
World War II?
Mm-hmm. So in this picture, my father is 25 and my mother is 19.
She's pretty.
She's very pretty. So my mom had even more ambition. My mom played the saxophone. She went to a famous black college, Prairie View A&M. Prairie View is known as a marching school, a music school. It's in the middle of the desert in Texas. My mom was going to be the first woman to ever play in the big band era as an instrumentalist. Most people thought, oh, you probably sing because you look so beautiful. No, she wanted to play her instrument. She wanted to be the only woman among all those men. Back in 1939, that was her ambition. I'm going to become a jazz musician, and I'm going to be the only woman in that band. Now, let me let you guys understand, back in 1939 and 40, women didn't go places without a chaperone. And you don't probably know this about black culture, but in black culture, you didn't go around without being chaperoned because that was considered being really risky as a woman. But my mom was never scared. So my mom had a jazz band, and they would sneak out of the dorm and go play jazz from 1 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the morning, and then sneak back in the dorm. And when the school president said, you women aren't supposed to be outside by yourself, so I'm telling your mom. My mom said to the college president, if you tell my mom, I'm going to tell the board of directors that you steal the stamp money.
Oh.
That's the kind of mom I had. So when I was very, very young, my mom one day said to me, you know, you're not a very good liar. You shouldn't lie to people. It's like, damn, how'd she know that? And that's the kind of parents I grew up with. So this is my greatest treasure, is my mom and dad and what they did for me. And they weren't, part of my life I thought they were the meanest people in the world because they always kept me to a higher standard. Then when I got older, I realized why they kept me to that higher standard. They expected a lot out of me because I'll tell you the thing my father always told me when he thought I was being too shallow. You ever use that word, shallow? Not very deep.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever my father thought I was being too shallow and too selfish, here's what he would say to me. The world is not about you, Joe. The world is about what you do for other people. And if the world was all about you, Joe, do you realize how boring it would be? But when you see other people that do things in the world, that's what makes it exciting. And if you do things for other people in the world, that makes your life easier. And that's what I've lived my life about. The world is not about me. It's about what you do for other people. And then it makes your life happier.
Could you say the quote again?
The world is not about you. The world is about what you do for other people to make it a better world.
I actually saw that quote in your articles when I was looking over them,
Okay.
and I thought it was a cool quote, and so one of the questions that I wrote down